the Spirit of Acuto Transformational Leadership Award. This award recognizes alumni who are driven to respond to the needs of others, using their talent and training to move vision to reality. This is the newest of alumni awards. It was established in 2006. There have been less than 10 recipients of this award. And I think we have one of the past recipients with us tonight, Sister Tarcisia Rhodes. Would you stand up for a second? And now the 2014 recipient, ladies and gentlemen, Beverly Ann Moritz Greenwood. She graduated from Sacred Heart College. Give me just a minute, I'm going to say all kinds of nice things about you. She graduated from Sacred Heart College in 1963, and she gave tirelessly of herself and to her alma mater from the very first day she became a student in 1959. Beverly was an active college student involved in all aspects of academic life and shared a special congeniality that goes with being involved in college, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Bev was a part of the Sacred Heart College group that traveled to the Model United Nations in New York City as a student, and it was from that experience and her general concern for the welfare of others that she brought 3 young ladies from Africa to visit her home in rural Milford for Christmas and other events. In the summer of 1963, with a crisp new Bachelor of Science in Education degree in her hand, Bev was selected to represent the Kansas International Farm Youth Exchange Program as a cultural exchange student to Colombia, South America. Upon her return from Colombia in the winter of 1963, she began her teaching career at Fort Riley Elementary School and would eventually get 2 master's degrees in education from Kansas State University. Beverly has a passion for mentoring international students. Since 1972, she and her husband, Moritz, he introduced himself to me as Mo, have hosted 53 foreign exchange students in their home. They have no children of their own, but as Noreen mentioned, they keep in close connection with all of their sons and daughters throughout the world. Bev has been very active in her home community, including service as the president of the Milford chapter of Lions Club International on 5 separate occasions. She's been very involved at St. Xavier Catholic Church. Bev has served on the Newman University National Alumni Association Board of Directors, has been president of countless community associations, has received numerous honors and awards recognizing her philanthropic efforts and service to others. She continues her close association to Newman University to this day. On May 10th, 2013, Bev, along with others, attended their 50th Golden Heart reunion with the class of 1963 from Sacred Heart College. Ladies and gentlemen, help me recognize a woman who not only means the world to Newman, but has spent a lifetime welcoming the world's children into her home. Beverly, now would you please come forward?
He's done it all. Gracias. Thank you. First of all, is it on? First of all, to the people who have made the award possible. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time. And at this time, I would like to have all of those who attended Sacred Heart College, please stand up. That's where we're from, Sacred Heart College. Men, too. Wow, that's amazing. There were a few. They came. I don't know when they came. So, if it were for my husband, Mo, a little bit biased, I wouldn't be standing up here. So, I'm going to talk a little bit later about Sacred Heart, not too much later, I hope. But first, I want to introduce to you the special guests who have helped with this vision. And it's amazing how small the world really is. So, first of all, my husband, Mo, well, I know him more as Morris, 48 plus years. And without him, of course, we wouldn't have had the exchange students, and we wouldn't have done probably a lot of the service we do. So, Mo, would you please stand up? Next is my brother Gaylord Moritz and his wife Shirley. And they now live in Spearville, and when I was here, Spearville was every other student. So, well, I'm curious. All those from Spearville, please stand up. You see what I say. And then, actually, it was because of my brother and my late brother Jim and their families both lived here in Wichita at the time. And I wanted a girls' Catholic college. That's why I was surprised to see all these men stand up. And a girls' Catholic college, and with a family close by. So at that time, Sacred Heart met the criteria. Now we have my brother's son, Greg, and his wife, Teresa, have settled in this area. Now, stand up. Now, here's Teresa. She has a master's degree. How far have they come? She has a master's degree here in occupational therapy from Newman. And her, wait a minute, she's even teaching a class here at Newman University. So what a small world. And it's also Greg's birthday. So we all have to say happy birthday, Greg. Now, we weren't sure about the other part of their family. My brother's daughter, Lynette and Kenny, right here. Stand up, too. Here's Lynette and Kenny. Now, they came from Dodge City because Kenny's relatives are getting awards tonight. So, again, like I said, small world. So, thank you, Lynette and Kenny. Now, come to the other side, we have Shannon Greenwood, our niece, and her husband, Jake Zika. And they are from Manhattan, and we share KSU sports. And they're 4 kids. So stand up, and they have come in from Wellington. And that's where Jake is from. And now, going back to Sacred Heart College, which was really nice, I heard them say something about this tonight. I hope they still do it. Because when I enrolled, they assigned me a person, not a mentor, but a person who was going to be also in my class. And so we started writing to each other. So at this time, Sylvia Miller, would you please stand up? Sylvia and I started writing, and we weren't in the same dorm. Well, we were in the same dorm. We were all one dorm. But she was in a different room. So for 50 plus years, Sylvia and I have been best friends. We've gone to each other's weddings, all the gamut, and it's all because of Sacred Heart. Her friend tonight, because her husband couldn't come, is Beth Schmidt here from Olby. And stand up, Beth. And she's a Spanish teacher. So it's education world. Well, Sylvia didn't go into education. And let's see here. Now, the one you saw that was really my mentor was Sister Tarcisia. And she was showing me on the program that she was the first Acuto Award person. So, you see, we go together. And Sister was international chairperson, sponsor, and I was president for a couple of years. So we did a lot of things together. And they were very active in the community, as now. And I am going to be district governor for Lions. And on behalf of the Lions, I want to say thank you to all of the Newman people who had anything to do with Newman University sponsoring the Lions band participants each year. So is there anybody here that's helped us to make sure that the band participants were here? It was really a great program. She had called, I guess, but this year they're going to KSU. And so they'll be back. So we want to say thanks to them. Speaking of surprises for tonight, and we were kind of going in a wrong turn last night, or at least I thought it was a wrong turn. And here we are at the airport, and he drives real slow, and I'm thinking, oh, come on, we made a mistake, let's get out of here. No, he says, go in and find a person from Chicago. So I go in, and I knew it had to be one of our exchange students. He surprised me a few times before with that. And getting packages at the airport. Big packages, great packages. So we went last night, and Jean Ann, would you please stand up? Jean Ann Kerrigan from Junction City 1,000 years ago, and now from Tennessee. So she is a special surprise after 30-some years, too. So tonight is great fun. Now for my other brother's side, we have a special guest here that has changed a lot of things. She too is from Chapman, but Alicia Moritz, my niece from my brother Jim's side, is working now here in Wichita. So Alicia Moritz, Wichita. She's with Pepsi. Actually attended KU, but we won't hold that against her. Sarah kind of said that I received this. Actually, my husband and I received this because of making visions reality. Well, it's really our pleasure. The kids have been wonderful, and there isn't a time that the day goes by that we don't hear from some of our kids somewhere in the world, especially now. Well, I came to Sacred Heart to be a missionary worker. Well, you had to have a profession. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. So I decided I like teaching and I like kids, so I went into education. And for 40-some years, I did that. And well, I still do it every day, but different. So because of the International Club, the Spanish, the South American Studies here at Sacred Heart were the springboards for my exchange, for Sister Tarcisia, helped me to apply to that. So we go back a long way. This one, I wanted my husband to tell you because I didn't want to share it. But it's probably too true. So, I had a date with my husband when I was young, and on the way back anyway to my rural area in Milford, I told him I was going to be a missionary worker and I wasn't ready for any involvement or anything like that. So his reply was, okay, I'll become a priest, you become a nun, and we'll get married and we'll have a little brother. Well, he actually did say to be a priest, but that didn't last very long. So we didn't have the next date till 7 years later. So, after our marriage, yes, we did begin hosting exchange students. The first one was from Columbia, where I went. And then we had a lot more. And then we got a really good opportunity, if any of you get a chance, to be a Rotary group study exchange person, leader, or participant. We were chosen, and we were the last couple, but it wasn't because of what we did. We knew when we went, we were the last ones, which was sad, really sad. So we had a chance to go to the state of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And so 16 of our exchange kids have come out of that. And we've been back down there a dozen times. We get spoiled every time. And we've stood up for some of our kids' weddings. It's really a great deal. So if you haven't done it, think about doing those kind of things. Another one, I don't know if, I'm sure all of you have probably sponsored somebody from CFCA, Christian Foundation for Children and Aged. We have 5 of those kids. One's a priest now in the Philippines. And we haven't met those kids yet, but it's on our bucket list. So I'm curious, is there anybody in here who sponsors CFCA kids? Surely, yes. Yes. And I think somebody I visited with adopted some from Guatemala the other night. So when I talked to my brother Gaylord, I was thinking about, I'm really a bad person to say you didn't help to do something. Well, my parents did pay for my college, and I really don't know exactly how they did it. They were farm people, and my brother says, well, they said if you want to go to college, you got your way paid. So, except that, I did work at the switchboard, and Jean Ann and I were talking about the switchboard, wondering how many people we had disconnected. Anyway, I didn't get fired. But I think that went toward my tuition. Also worked in the kitchen with the big dishwasher. And those things I think went and helped to pay for it. So, between the Sacred Heart and my parents, I did get 4 years, 1959 to 63. And so you can look at the bio and see what Newman has done for me. So one of the things I was interested in was faith-based. And so every day at noon I went to Mass. I wanted to get in good with God then because I knew in reality that I wouldn't have a chance to go to Mass very often. So I'm pretty sure the visitations helped a lot. And so things have gone pretty well for us. So tonight, my husband and I would like to make a little check to Newman University for $1,000 to start a little scholarship for education here at Newman. And again, thank you, gracias, and keep the faith.